Nyinyi watu ya media muende muandike hiyo nimesema. Hakuna pahali mtatupeleka. Mlijaribu kutupiga mkiwa na system, mkiwa na deep state, mkiwa na Azimio.
20th March of 2023, we have a date with Destiny in Nairobi.
Greetings wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Voices of Reason, and as usual, this is the best show that you don't want to miss. Today, we will be discussing some of the things that have happened over the week, and let's just have a watch.
Our supporters throughout the country shall stage a massive procession in Nairobi for a legitimate and inclusive government. Save that date. We thank you and let the action begin. The movement for the defense of democracy has now started.
Tukapiga nyinyi 9-0. Hata hapo mbele tutamulima the same. Na sisi hatuogope nyinyi. Kama hatukuogopa Uhuru na system na deep state, watu ya magazeti tutaogopa nyinyi? Muache hiyo maneno mko nayo. Mnakuja hapa Murang'a mkutano mzuri, mnako profile. Mtu ni bure, kuna kitu najua nini ataangusha William.
Maybe to start with IV, that was the deputy president speaking, whereby he was seen condemning the media, whereby he said there are cartels in the media houses. Do you think that is the truth?
Okay, what I can say about the issue about the media, what the DP said, we can just try to do an investigation on the matter to see if there are really cartels in our media houses, and if there is, they should be uprooted. We also saw that issue that the majority leader Aaron Cheruiyot, where he tweeted that there are two powerful houses, that's the banks and the media houses. I think he was just trying to second the DP on what they are saying, and if it's really true, they as the government should really conduct thorough investigations on these media houses, and they should just take off the cartels in those media houses. I can just say, us being upcoming journalists, us doing journalism, we want to feel that we are safe, that we are protected. We don't want to go into the field and find that these things are just being controlled by cartels. We want that independence to feel as an upcoming journalist, that you are free to just join any media station you want, that you have the independence to tell the people the truth, to just conduct thorough research, and you can just give the truth to the people. So I think the media houses, if they're being run by cartels, they should be uprooted.
Well, that's very interesting, Regina, considering the fact that we are upcoming journalists, and we want a system whereby we have freedom to express and to carry out our daily interviews. And maybe do you think those in power are being used to influence, or rather to make sure that the independence of the journalist is not there? What do you have to say concerning this thing?
Well, thank you, Dennis, about this. Actually, on my case, I could say, we have these authorities that govern, and maybe they give us we are under them as journalists, and we have the rights as the journalists. And you see, having the rights as journalists, there are these things that we must do, and they must, if there are these cartels in these media stations, they have to be uprooted, because we can't just go being unsafe out there. And there's this issue about the press cards. We learned that the press cards, they are fake press cards. So we just have to get new press cards so that these cartels who are not approved, they should not just go in and taking news anywhere, because at first we thought that this issue was just a political issue, and as we know, politics, it's a dirty game. So we thought maybe it's something to do with because at that broadcast, we never saw the police. So we were like, who raided? We were maybe it was a game or something to do with politics. But right now, please, we should just say that the president should just look into the matter.
Yeah, that's the truth, and it's a call to our leaders that to make sure maybe some of the things they talk there in the public do not undermine the freedom of the media houses. We hope that the Kenya Union of Journalists will come out and condemn such kind of things being talked about the media houses, and it's also a call to the journalists to make sure that they observe their code of conduct and ensure that they are partial in their reporting and they are independent. It's a story we will be looking and following. And away from that, we saw yesterday the controller of budget, where he appeared before the parliament, and he was questioned concerning the authorization of some funds that were authorized in the previous regime. Actually, it was 2 days before the elections, and we saw her saying that he was under pressure. She was under pressure. Do you think, as a public servant, as this is a public figure, that she should say such kind of things, and maybe are there actions that need to be done?
So what I think on the issue about the control of budget, she just released a statement saying she was being under duress and she was being forced to release public funds to some people in the government in the previous regime. I think now whatever they are doing right now is maybe the way they should go about it, since there's been an investigation done, and we can see that she's trying to answer these questions and what happened. But you can also see the former Minister for Treasury, Ukur Yatani, saying that the money was being used for subsidy, because you remember that in the previous regime we had a lot of subsidies to help with the cost of living. So we just have to wait and see what the control of budget is, what the investigation is going to be conducted, and how the results will be.
Yeah, very sure. And Regina, this thing about the controller of budget, whereby she said she was under duress to authorize such kind of funds. Do you think an audit should be conducted so that we may identify the truth and see maybe whatever she's saying is the truth? Do you think there is supposed to be an audit conducted?
Okay, I could say like the former treasurer Kuriatan should actually give out the audit, because we're really wondering where did 15 billion go. Actually, 2 days before elections, then after elections. So like the budget, actually what the money they say they used in subsidies, we don't really think it happened like that, because after elections, the cabinet was just, there were new people in the cabinet, new whatever. So you see, like we must have to get the link up from the older cabinet so that we can see how the money was used, because this issue is a little bit confusing.
Yeah, very sure. I hope that the government will carry out an audit to make sure that those found guilty and the culprits are held into account, because most of the time we see public funds being misused and nothing is done. We hope that the Director of Public Prosecution will carry out an audit and identify the truth of the matter. But besides that, yesterday we saw the former the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, after giving out the 14 days ultimatum, whereby he said that he will be conducting mass demonstrations. Maybe what do you have to say concerning that, Ivy?
Okay. We saw that the Azimio coalition had given a deadline, a 14-day period for the current government to lower the prices the cost of living prices. So all we are waiting for is to see what the coalition is planning. Since the period had ended, the 14 days ended was yesterday, and he made a press release yesterday. We saw that he was here in Nairobi, and he said that the demonstrations will now start. They will demonstrate about these prices. They are saying that our president should go. So we are just waiting to see if our coalition, if the Azimio leader will really take action on us. Okay, we can all agree that there is high cost of living, and something needs to be done since not all of us can afford whatever is happening. The cost of living is very, very high. A lot of people are missing out on various basic needs. So the coalition is planning peaceful demonstrations to conduct to help with the cost of living. I just hope that whatever they are planning, whatever measures they are planning to take as a party, they will help the citizens, to help our current government to lower the cost of living. And we have seen that the demonstrations are being planned in various places. I heard that they are planning to go to Kilifi. They're also planning to go to Malindi, Mombasa. They are planning various places. Just hope that these demonstrations will be peaceful and they will help our citizens.
Yeah, that's the truth. And in fact, today they will be in Migori, whereby
Yeah,
they will
true.
be starting their demonstrations, and we will be following. Maybe, Regina, do you think it's the right way the former Prime Minister is taking to make sure he keeps the government in check? And do you think after these demonstrations, maybe it will be effective? Is there anything that is going to happen? And is it a good move for the former Prime Minister to conduct these demonstrations?
Okay, on my case, I could say, yeah, it's very nice move that the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga did, because if there's no this coalition, the Azimio coalition, maybe the government can just assume like everyone is safe and the cost of living is just normal because we have just lived with it since the corona period. But let me tell you, people are just struggling. Like the coalition, whatever tech they did, the demonstration, they just good because at least we as Kenyans will be in the right way, and he'll just have to help us out.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion. I have had the panel here with us discussing some of those things concerning whatever has happened over the week. We hope maybe even for that thing about demonstrations, they are going to be peaceful and they'll be effective, and the high cost of living is going to be lowered and the prices will be cheap and are comfortable to the common mwananchi. This has been the Voices of Reason, and we are happy for those who are continuing to follow. Remember, you can send your messages and comments, and we will address them. Maybe as we end the discussion, Ivy, you can tell them your social media platforms for them that want to reach out to you, and maybe it's a great idea.
You can find me on Instagram at Gatumbe